Hi everyone, Kenzie with OpenWater here. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to build a committee nomination and review program in under 5 minutes. Organizations that typically use committee nominations are nonprofits, professional associations, corporations, and government bodies. They require an application form to collect the nominations or self-nominations, and then some sort of ability to review those nominations and then either elect the individuals or pass them up until next year. So let's take a look and see what that looks like in OpenWater with our submission form. So right away we've hopped in as the nominee or the nominator if I am nominating someone else. It pulls in some information from our account, but we can also override this if needed. And then at the bottom here, this is where we can select if if this is a self-nomination or if we're nominating someone else. When you select the option, it shows you a couple fields based on your answer. And then we have the nomination questions themselves. This is where we'll pick our committee. You can just go through. If you'd like to select more than one committee and nominate for multiple in one go, you can also do that. And then there's a few other fields here. I'm just going to fill these out quickly. Okay, I filled out the nomination, so let's take a quick moment to review before we send it in. So all of my information is filled out at the top here. I'm nominating someone else, in this case Mark James. I've entered their email, the company they work for, and if they're a member. You could also utilize a lookup field here from our integrations hub. It's a quick configuration, not code setup. As long as you have an AMS such as IMS, you can connect it directly there and then pull from a list of members perhaps. All you need to do is start typing in a name and it would auto-populate the fields that you've selected it to. If you want to learn more about that, head to learn.openwater.com. Right, continuing on to the next page, we have all of our information here. We've selected 2 committees. They are available. We filled in some questions. We can see there's a character count, so no more than 1500. You can also set a minimum if you'd like. And then we've entered our education background in a table field, as well as uploaded our CV, which we get a quick preview of, or you can click on the link to expand it and get the full view. So now that we've done that, let's press save and finalize. And after a moment, we'll see that we've completed it and land on our confirmation page. This is also configurable if you want to put a special message here, as well as we'll also receive a confirmation email. So that's the submission form. Now let's take a look and see how the evaluation side of OpenWater works. So as a reviewer, I'm going to log in, go to my judging or my reviewing assignments, whatever you've chosen to have, and you'll first get this page where you see all the different committees and then the positions as well. So these are the assignments that I have. You can choose how the assignments go to the reviewers, but in this case, this is what I have. So I'm going to open them up and look at all categories or all positions in this situation. So I can see some basic information on the left-hand side here, but I can also click into the nomination. And here I can see the information from the nomination itself on the left-hand side, all the information that's been answered. You can show or hide fields depending on what you want the reviewers to see in this case. And on the right hand side here we have our evaluation form. So this is a quantitative setup. This is just configured this way, but you can set it up however you'd like. So we have 1 through 5s. We really like this one, so we're going to give it 5s all the way through. And you can even leave a comment if you'd like. Then we can just continue on, press save and go next. And now we're on to the next one. Again, you can review the information on the left hand side here and then judge it accordingly. In this case, we'll go save and go back to the list. Now we can see what it looks like now that we've reviewed at least 2. So in this case, we can see there's a 15, a 10, and we still have a couple unreviewed. You can also go back into nominations and change the score if you'd like. So we can do, maybe this one's a 5, but we really don't like how well they communicate with others, so we're going to put it down to a 2. Now we'll save and go back to list. So now we can see the updated score. It's a 12 rather than a 10 now. And at this point, let's say we've collected all of our scores for the nominations. What do you do with those results now? That's where we head to the back end of OpenWater to check out the scores and results. So in your admin port of OpenWater, head to Tools and then Scores and Results. And we can view all judging results if we would like, or you can look at each committee position, but let's take a look at everything. So here we go. Now we get a quick little view of all the different information involved with the evaluation. So we have our score, the rank, the percentile, if it's been forwarded, if it was one of the elected members, all sorts of information here. You can also press export and run an export to get a little bit more detailed information. But in this case, we're going to say Edward was successful. It's been decided that they're going to be elected to the committee. So we're going to select Edward and then press set decision type. And in this case, elected for 2023. And then we'll set that. And once that loads, we'll now see in the same column for decision that Edward has won. Now, perhaps you want to notify all of those who have been elected for their committees. So we're going to go again to Tools, but this time we're going to go to the Email Wizard. So these are one-time emails that can be configured and personalized towards the applicants and the nominees. So in this case, we're going to go for applicants who are winners. Our language is a little bit different. We have those who have been decided, but let's take a look and see how this can be configured. So right away we have the basic email set up. So this is one email per nomination, and the filter type is decision, aka they've been set to being an elected member. And then we're going to go over to the email template. There's some basic fields up top, so the from, the to, a CC, and then we have our subject. And as you can see, I've entered a little bit of text here, and then I've entered a variable which will allow it to be personalized towards the actual nominee that we're sending it to. I've also entered some text down here with another variable as well, except for this one is for the category, which will show the committee position. So let's save and preview and see what that looks like in action. So there we go. It says, congrats, Edward. You have been elected for the Executive Committee Treasurer position. You can also see your matches up top, which would be one match for Edward. And then if you'd like, you can send now or schedule it for later. So that's the email wizard and how to notify those who have been elected for their positions. Now let's go back and take a look and see. So all you need to do to set up your committee nomination program is press Add Program in the top left here. And then we're going to search for committee. And there we go. Now we can see the committee member application and review. We're going to install this, and we'll just keep the name the same for now and press install. Once this finishes loading, we'll go ahead and take a look at how we set up the submission form. Okay, our program has finished loading. So the first thing we're going to want to do is press manage, and then under round settings we can navigate to submission form. And right away we can see we have our two different pages. In this case, we'll take a look at the first page. This is just the basic information. And again, we had that self-nomination question where we can enter self-nomination or nominate others, and then new fields populate based on that. But let's go deeper into the nomination questions themselves. So to start, we have our category field, which is configured a little bit somewhere more advanced. If you want to look into that, feel free to, of course, head to learn.openwater.com. And then we have our basic fields, so just we have a radio list, some text boxes. There's some advanced features you can set up on the left-hand side, or you can just enter the label and some details. You can also turn on rich text, which allows you to bold, italicize, etc. And then we have a table field for our background information, and then a checkbox field for our LinkedIn or our CV. On the left-hand side here for radio lists, checkboxes, and drop-downs, you can have dependent fields, which you'll get to see this little chain link beside your options. So when you press on that, it leads you to the new page, which is the dependent field, and in this case, it's a URL field. If you select the other option, we will have an upload field. To add or create new fields, all you need to do is press Add Field and then drag and drop any of the options you want. So if you want to collect a different file upload, perhaps you need some sort of certificate, you can easily do that. If you'd like the email, we have an email field that you can also just drag and drop in. And again, you can change the name by going to the label and any text you'd like. And then there's also, again, there's some more custom fields or more advanced options at the bottom here. But for now, all you need is the label and description. You can also delete any fields by pressing the little trash can on the right-hand side. And that's how you set up the submission form. Just make sure you press save at the end and then you can close it out and you're good to go. If you have any more questions, please feel free to head to learn.openwater.com or reach out to our team and we'll be happy to assist. Thank you very much.